The 3 contracts, Trent, Salah, Van Dijk. Why has it taken so long to start negotiations? Why is it taking so long to get sorted out? And why are we now seeing from media and journalists that PR and narratives being spun to put the blame on the players for being in this situation? So this was expected, and this is why I am preparing myself for all 3 to go. I'm preparing myself for it. I've prepared myself for it. But let's hope they do get sorted out. However, this was what came down yesterday before the game, which first and foremost, I'm not happy about the timing of this, because this came out pretty much a couple of hours before we played Bournemouth, which is not good timing at all. So this was what came out yesterday, according to Jonathan Norcroft from the Sunday Times. So Liverpool want Salah, Van Dijk and Alexander to stay, with Richard Hughes leading negotiations. However, the players have to want to stay, with Alexander-Arnold currently considering interest from Real Madrid. Okay, so that tells me there, the single sentence there, however, the players have to want to stay, is twisting the narrative and saying, if these guys leave, it's on the players. Okay, so I quote tweeted this. Shout out to Anfield Edition for putting this out. I quote tweeted their tweet and said, so it's the players' fault if they don't stay. The narratives are being written. The tweet did blow up. It's every time I tweet anything like about FSG or anything like that, it seems to blow up. I don't mean to do that. I'm not tweeting about FSG every single day. I'm not tweeting FSG out, certainly not every single day. I'm not even hashtagging FSG out, so number one. But it blew up, and 38.9. Anyway, it blew up, and I got pretty much the responses that I expected to get. Most are on the side of what I'm thinking about here, seeing the narratives being written, seeing the PR that is put out there. But there also are some people out there that can't for the life of them, criticise anything the club does, and they react how they react, and I expect how they react. But they never can really justify their reactions, and when I come back at them, it's either insults or it's either nonsensical, invalid things that they say, nothing to do with anything else. They can't deal with facts, they can't deal with logic. So if the club is offering a good offer to all 3 players, which what they should be valued at for what they have done for us and what they can do for us, because if you look at Van Dijk and Salah specifically, these don't look like declining anytime soon. In fact, they've improved this season massively and are gone back to the best again. Trent again is a young lad, so he's got plenty of time to be even better in the future. So if we are giving them a contract that is acceptable for what they are, because right now what they are is the best in the world. Trent the best right by the world, Salah the best player in the world currently, Van Dijk the best defender in the world. If we are giving them a contract that is acceptable for what they are, and they still decide to leave, then I agree. It is on the players. However, that is clearly not the case. Do you have knowledge of inside knowledge? If that was the case, if that was an acceptable thing, they'd have accepted the contracts. And they wouldn't be far away from where they both see, as Salah said. What the club want you to do here, and this is why I'm preparing myself all 3 to leave, because if all 3 leave, what the club wants is no blame at all. At all. And they started early. With the PR. They said there, basically it's all on the players. If they want to go, then so be it. But Salah and Salah and Van Dijk have both reiterated that they want to stay. So if they are to go, then what is that about? The club want you to blame the players here. And what I don't get is people don't get what I meant by this narrative being created. And the ones that can't criticise the club for whatever reason, no matter what. So it's weird. I find these people that don't criticise the club as weird as those that tag FSG out every day or tag John Henry in a tweet for some reason. They get called weirdos or whatever they get called, right, by these other people. But I find those that can't criticise anything the club does, can't criticise at all. I find that as weird as anything. Because there's a middle ground here. There's a middle ground to be had. And people that are in the middle, that are actually using logic and facts and saying, look, FSG have done good, FSG need criticising for this. Those that are actually in the middle, right, and actually coming with common sense and not being heard. It's one extreme fighting another extreme, and they're putting them all. I mean, if you watch Mo Shatra on the Anfield Agenda, if you watch that specific episode, it was a very good episode, by the way, and Mo Shatra's got it spot on with what he said. These on this side, like, they criticise the club at all, put everyone in the same box of, if you're FSG out, that means you're a loony. That means that you're on Twitter every day saying FSG out. When really, even those that are on FSG out every day, they're actually more right than those that don't criticise the club at all. That's the crazy thing. But both extremes are both wrong when there's a middle ground to be had. And the middle ground is being misheard or not heard. It's been not heard, if I'm honest. And genuine conversations and adult conversations are not being had about it. And this is why we found ourselves in a predicament of potentially losing 3 of our best players because we've accepted the way this ownership has run it. And I put on the thumbnail here, not to blame. And I mean every single person on that thumbnail, by the way, because Richard Hughes isn't really to blame for this. And I see, what's Richard Hughes doing? What's he doing? He's been in the building for this long and he's not done anything. Richard Hughes was put in this situation by the club. These contracts should have been done before Richard Hughes came. Not in the last year of their contracts, to the point where they're going into the last 6 months and then started talking to other clubs for free. This should have been done ages ago. So Richard Hughes is not fully to blame. Michael Edwards is not fully to blame. And I'll tell you why. In the piece by Jonathan Northcroft, and what Arne Slot said the other day, bringing up his past of Bournemouth, some Liverpool fans won't like to hear it. Like, I did this at Bournemouth, I don't care. We'll see what he does at Liverpool. But it's relevant because he's proven that he can do good. He's proven that he can do good work. He's proven that he can get good transfers, make good deals. Michael Edwards has proven at Liverpool that he can do good transfers and get good deals with a bit of money behind him. When we sold Coutinho, he went out there and got Fabinho, he got Van Dijk, he got Alisson Becker, that have turned us into title-winning, title-challenging teams. So these guys, Edwards, Hughes, have proven. They've proven before that they can do it. And they're going to get scapegoated. And they are being scapegoated. Klopp has been blamed. George Smack's got blamed. What's he doing on holiday? And he pulled out 4 billion deals in that summer. Everyone else has been blamed. When the real people that are holding Liverpool back is FSG. It's always been FSG. And we're throwing everyone else out as scapegoats constantly. If you focus on what Richard Hughes is not doing, you're not focused on what the real issue is here and what the real problem is here. Because Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are working under their financial strains. They're working under their financial construction. They can only do so much. Sorry, they can only do so much for the tight strings they're being given. They can only do so much with what they're being given. If they're working on a strict budget, or a strict set of rules, they can't go past that. They've got to accept whatever the people above them are telling them to do. They're employees. That's what they are. So it's pointless going for Richard Hughes. It's pointless going for Michael Edwards when these guys are doing what they can with what they've got. Just like Klopp did. Just like Slot's doing. Just like Slot's doing. If we lose Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, it'd be up to Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards then to go and get replacements or whatever. It'd be up to Slot then to play without them. Because we're saving money. And this is the problem I have with fans that can't have these genuine conversations, is just hear people out. We're not all tagging FSG out every single day. We're not all tagging John Henry into tweets. We're simply demanding better. And it has held us back. Whether you like it or not, they've held us back. And they will continue to hold us back if we allow it. And that's truth hurts. Truth hurts for people. It hurts, but I just think people at this point, people that are daren't criticise the club, I think they're just dying on the sword at this point. I think they're just that far gone with what they've defended. I think they just rather try to be proven right. I think they'd rather die on the hill than admit they were wrong. When, I mean, you can say, oh, everyone's got an agenda against FSG. Who's got an agenda here? The people that daren't criticise FSG, or the people that praise them and criticise them? Who's got the agenda there? For me, right, I've always wanted FSG to change their ways, but it doesn't look like they are going to do. And we've got to the point now where we're potentially losing these three of our best players to free. And that's because we've accepted the way it's been run. And this happens. I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping that at least two of them stay. But like I said, I'm preparing myself for the worst, because that's how we've been ran. I've got to prepare myself for things like this. So, but yeah, that was my initial reason why I put the tweet out, because we have allowed this to happen, to get to this point in their contracts where they can speak to other clubs for free. So is that down on the players? And like I said, if we do offer them a decent contract where we're not lowballing them, or we offer them something that is what we should be valuing them at, because right now they're the best in the world, and right now in the next 2-3 years they could offer still as the best in the world, and to be honest, they're actually worth the risk. You know, every transfer is a risk. Giving them a good contract is worth the risk for what they're showing us right now. If you're basing it on right now, what they're showing us, it's worth the risk, especially with all the much money we make, with record-breaking revenues constantly. But if you want to believe the gaslighting, if you want to be gaslighted, then that's you. I don't be gaslighted. I'm not being gaslighted. Don't be blaming the players if these three go. Only blame the players if they are not accepting a really good offer that we, like, you know, I have my limits. If they're asking for like 500, 600 grand, I'm like, nah, even I won't pay that. You know what I'm saying? There is logic and context to be had. There is common sense to be had here. But if we're miles off what they want, and we're not offering them what they are, which are the best in the world, we're not offering them contracts that suit what they can give us, then that's on Liverpool. That's not on the players. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the contract situations. Who is to blame for these contract situations, and do you think all three stay? Who do you think will go? Who do you think will stay? I prepare yourself for the worst, like myself. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and get your notification bells on as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, guys.